Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Pittsburgh Steelers fans. G'day, Brian Harrington. It is with the solo show today on the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I just got done doing a live stream on Steeler Nation Australia, and I got the 1K, and I'm so excited. I'm exhausted. That game was unbelievable. And this game, g'day, Grid. What's going on, mate? Now, I need your help today. So I'm pretty sure my mate Owen is asleep, and that's fine. It is his, I think 3 a.m., I believe, over in England. So myself and Owen, we do the podcast here, Steel Syndicate podcast and the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, a part of a bunch of channels. The Steelers got that win, and we needed that win. And we're going to talk through that win for the next 20 to 30 minutes. And I want to hear questions. I want to hear, look, you guys are going to drive this show, okay? You're going to drive 4:30. It's 4:30 a.m. for Owen. Yeah, he's asleep, man. I appreciate that fella. He's one of the hardest working men in the business. Britsburgh Owen is a hard worker, 110%. So I texted him today, or I left him a voice message and said, "Are you coming on the podcast?" But he's asleep. But I tell you what, in this game, it was a must win. It was a must win for our Steelers, and it was fantastic. And there are so many positive signs to see out of this team going forward. Of course, there are some negatives, but that's football. The one big negative, of course, was the third quarter. The kickoff return for 89 yards can't happen. That's a bad play. Then the whole third quarter, our defense fell asleep. Of course, they dead set put up 14 points in the third quarter, came back to be 17-16. And then Kenny Pickett and the Steelers came back to win 24-17. The game was fun, though, guys. It was really fun. As I was doing the live stream on my channel, Steel Nation Australia, it was a great time, right? But I was panicking mannequin a few times. There was times where I thought we had it in the bag, 16-3. The Colts hadn't even ran, they had 0 yards in the first quarter. And I thought, not an easy win, but I thought, we can kind of, sail away. We can sail away with this. I thought we could go 24-3, 27-3, we left points on the board, But I think overall, that might be the best game. Maybe we've seen all year. Because they showed heart, they showed adversity through the hard times to come back and win. They definitely did. I'll give some shout outs right now. And then you guys get any questions, what do you feel? And I'll bring it up. Right. Brian says the game has shown some promise, but don't get too cocky as we beat a bad team. You know what? I don't even care. I don't care that we beat a bad team, to be honest. I care that we won. The Pittsburgh Steelers won today. They beat a team in the National Football League. The Steelers are a part of 32. There are 31 other teams. We beat another team. I don't care if they were a bad team. The grid says, here we go. Reginald, I'll talk about Benny Snell in a minute. I'll get the Benny Snell. Sean says, great game. Steeler Girl says, yay, let's go. Look, we need this. Steelers' heart needs this. 100%. The other guys who I work for too, BTSC, I can't wait. That is fantastic. I believe State of the Steelers, Daniel is on that one. Check that out too. I'll be watching that probably tomorrow after things calm down. Right, good win for us with the Colts. Yeah, that's true. Right, that's true. 808 says it's a whole team win. I agree. Fantastic. If both Najee and Warren out next week, does Tomlin bring up Master Teague and use McFarland and Teague or Snell? I think you have to start, in my opinion, what I think would happen would probably be starting Snell, featuring in McFarland and bringing up Teague. You know what I mean? Three back set. But let's talk about Snell for a minute, because this definitely was Benny Snell football. And this is what you want to see out of your backups, your second running back. Benny Snell hasn't touched the football all year. It's taken to week 12 for him to touch football. And first of all, let's go for Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett got 20 for 28, 174, 6.2 yards average, 3 sacks, 87 rating. Kenny Pickett played pretty well today. But Benny Snell got 12 carries, 62 yards, 5.2 yards average, 1 TD, and the longest of the day, 16. Now, for other offenses, you're thinking, well, that 16 is nothing, Mark. It's absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It's only 16 yards. But for the Steelers offense, that means a heck of a lot. Najee Harris, I believe, went out with an injury to his ribs, I think, or to his stomach or something. 10 carries, 35 yards, 3.5 average, 1 TD, 8 longest. Kenny Pickett had 6 yards, 32, 5.3, 0 TDs, 1 and longest 9. McFarland showed up too, 6 carries, 30 yards, 5.0 average. And Gunner and even Derek Watt made a chance. But Benny Snell in this game, dead set. Benny Snell in this game made some improving play, and it was Benny Snell football that we have been promised for the last, 2 or 3 years. And it does take an injury to Najee Harris to where you have no number one, you have no number two, being Warren, and you have to rely on Benny Snell being running back number 3 and McFarland coming from the practice squad. So I thought it was pretty cool. Man, I'm done. The game was hectic. T. Brennan says big game for Snell and improving his trade. Possibly. It all depends, right? It all depends. With the win now being 4-7, the Steelers, of course, have to make sure the Ravens lose, the Bengals lose, the Jets lose, yada, 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 right? It's not really in our control. But if you were to say for next year, Benny Snell, you could possibly trade him depending what you see with Jaylen Warren. But I'm not even sure where Benny Snell sits on I think he might be a free agent next year. Let me see. I think Benny Snell could be a free agent in 2023. Here we go. Running back, Pittsburgh. Oops. Yeah, Benny Snell's a free agent. So they don't really have any rights to him anyway. So at the end of 2023, Benny Snell Jr. is going to be a free agent. Now, I'm not saying he's the best guy in this offense. What I'm saying is I think this team, this was the game. If you're going to choose any MVP, that's the guy right today. George Pickens made some good catches too down the sideline. Kenny Pickett was going through his progressions pretty well. Made a pass down the sideline. Yeah, exactly right. He's a free agent, right? So you can't do much with him. I'm just saying it was kind of good to see. It was good to see a guy like that show up, show out, and just play Steeler football. Like, when you think about it, right? When you think about this team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they ran the football for 36 times, right? They averaged 172 yards, 4.8 yards a carry, 2 TDs. That is Pittsburgh Steelers football. Exactly. You know what? If we break down that play, right? Kenny Pickett was rushed out to the right-hand side. George Pickens was on the roll too. And the way he sat down in the corner, knees down, catch the football with 2 hands. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? That was awesome to see. Exactly right. Yeah, Bengals played Chiefs, so I hope the Chiefs can beat them. And the Ravens played Denver. Now, Denver's playing awful, right? Awful. But you never know what can happen. The Ravens lost to the Jags last week. Viper says left a lot of opportunities on the field, but it's a win. It is a win, and that's why it's fantastic. And that's why we need to celebrate this win. Okay? We need to celebrate this win. I know you guys, a lot of you guys in the chat are the positive ones, and we don't want to see a tank. Like, I don't want to see a tank at all. I don't want to see that. And Viper, you're right. Pickett looked well tonight, progressing well. I agree with you 100%. Now, were there throws that were over someone's head? Were there play calling ideas where, why does Matt Canada call a screen to Gentry? Why are they doing a halfback toss to Derek Watt? You know what I'm saying? Were there things out there that didn't make sense? For sure. But in the reality of things, this win means a lot. It definitely means a lot. Like, I am just over the moon, right? If I go to the, the team stats, right? Excuse me. So the Steelers had time possession, 34 minutes and 22 seconds. And 2 turnovers. So we haven't We haven't really heard of that before. The Steelers had 34 minutes and 22 seconds. Now, I'm watching the play here too. 2-point conversion on ESPN. Kenny Pickett in shotgun. His man's done. He had Fryermuth. He had Snell. They're done. And he's going to roll out to the right-hand side and find George Pickens on the right, on the roll, for a 2-point conversion, putting the seven buffer. Right? I thought Kenny Pickett played really well today. Now, Kenny Pickett isn't going down the field and getting 300-yard games, 350, 3 touchdowns. You know what I mean? It's not happening like that. And of course, there'll be some people saying, "Well, Kenny Pickett threw in a dome. There was no air. You know, his football's off, but he's showing progression, right? He's not getting TDs. He's got I think 1 TD in 3 games, but he has no interceptions. I thought, to be honest, Matt, I thought Canada played okay. I thought his play calling was okay. Wasn't great, but I thought it was okay. Claude says they need to continue to run the ball like they do. Yeah, exactly, big time. And that's it. Because if Najee Harris is out, it's gonna be troubling. We don't know how long. We don't know how long Jalen Warren's going to be out for, right? But overall, we're scoring 24 points, and we really, guys, when you think about it, right? The Steelers, they probably should have won 24-10 or 30-10, right? Because in reality, too, the offense that Matty Ice was running, they had one good drive down there for 7 points. Then they were 14 points in front. The 14, they got the, there was 14-3 and it was 17-16. That one big kick return in the second half erased everything. And then there was 17-16. And I was like, why? All the good work from the first half. And I was like, man, that sucks. Oh, dude. Don't even start me. Don't even start me. Dwayne says they still need better corners. I agree. At the end of the day, I still think you have to move on from Matt Canada. But in these wins, he did play pretty well. So let's see how it plays out, right? If you want to grade Canada's performance B+, I'd probably say B+ or a C. I think he put him in the best position to win. That first half, they were throwing the football to Muth. They were getting the reverse to Ashesky near the end worked. There were a few plays that didn't work. There were a few plays that the offensive line didn't really block. There were a few plays that Kenny Pickett held the ball too long. There were a few plays that Kenny Pickett was rushing away for touchdowns. There was a play there where Kenny Pickett had a QB sneak, and I was like, that's amazing. The quarterback draw got him 8 yards, right? I thought out of all the games, this one, the Saints one, was very similar. Now, here's the question. Here's the question I keep asking after a big win. And we're going to be 4-7 with a chance possibly for the playoffs if teams fall apart. Can the Steelers back it up? That's the question. That is the question right now. Can the Pittsburgh Steelers back it up? Because, guys, this means nothing. This win is fantastic. It's fun. It's my Tuesday. It's your Monday night. You can go into work. You can feel good. Kenny Pickett looks good. The offense looks pretty good. You know, the ball's moving around everywhere. You had backups winning it for us. Sure, you beat the Colts, but you feel good. But can you back it up? That's the big thing. G'day, Cold Mill. What's going on? Right? It should feel good. If you're a fan of the team, it should feel good in here. That's what it should do. It should feel good in here. And exactly right. There's a short week now. We have 1 day less, right? But it should feel good. Exactly. The red zone is a bit different. They had that pass. They had the pass to George Pickens. He put one hand out, but I thought Kenny Pickett overthrew him. You know, JJ52 brought up Deontay Johnson. Why doesn't he run north and south? He goes east to west and doesn't run north and south. Like, yes, you have to go into Falcon territory next week, and you've got to build upon what you did. Now, it depends on the injuries. It depends on Najee Harris. Depends on Warren. But I thought everyone stepped up. James Pierre had a big pick. James Pierre had a fantastic pick. He read the receiver screen picked it off, and then we didn't turn the points, right? Matthew Wright got his field goal. Yes, it is. It's Falcons. Yeah, it's Falcons. And I agree. 100%. This game was a good win, but we're still 4-7. But that's not to say, like, in reality too, right? Like, if you're a Steelers fan and you feel good about this, I wouldn't let anyone put any hex on you because you feel good about it. If anyone says you only beat the Colts or this happened because you're in a dome or this, no. If you feel good about this win, you feel good about this win. You go into your work, you go into, your family dinner with friends, you go, I don't know, you go bowling, you go play tennis, go play whatever. You should feel good about this win because it is a great win. Going into the Colts Stadium, taking care of Matty Ryan, the veteran. Mike Tomlin is now 19-3 in a Monday Night Football games, which is a fantastic achievement, right? You should feel good about this win. 100% Cold Meal. Shout out to Snell and McFarlane and the O-line. Kenny made big plays. He did. He did make big plays. And of course, over the whole course of the football game, there were mistakes. But there are enough positive things to where you're saying, well, this team's getting it. They're getting it. They're understanding the offense. DJ's understanding it, although he's got to move forward, man. Let's catch that football and go forward. Move forward. Still saying Jedi says, man, I appreciate that. I'm so pumped up. During the time, during the time I got raided by my mate, here's the other guys too. If you guys don't know, right? Detroit Lions Syndicate. The reason why we are called the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate is we're a bunch of channels. Let me check my thing. Hang on. There's the Chiefs. There's the Dolphins. I feel like I'm doing a draft. Who else we got? There's the Lions Syndicate. There's 3 more. There's the Vikings Syndicate, right? These are a bit dusty, by the way. There's Denver and Grid. This is the first time you've seen them, man. And there's Pittsburgh and there's Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry, my bad. Pittsburgh Steelers, round the right way. I keep these here, these 6 helmets because we're a collection of YouTube channels. And our main goal is to crush chat. That is our main goal. If you see anything chat sports, we are not a fan of those fellas. We are coming for their throat. We are running the football, maybe a Bears soon. We are running the football like Benny Snell down their throat, and they can't stop us. They can't do it. Do you know why? Because they don't own a terrible towel that's never been washed. This terrible towel never gets dirty, right? Now, my apologies. I stuffed that up and I almost swore. This terrible towel never gets washed. Do you know why? Because it never gets dirty. Ever. They can't handle the fandom that we have. They can't handle the actual fandom. The actual fandom, the Pittsburgh Steelers fandom, and all the guys I brought up, the Lions, Vikings, they can't handle that. That's why they can't do it. They have Jack Sperry at quarterback. They ain't got nothing. Jack Sperry, by the way, is a Raiders supporter. If you go and look at his Instagram, go follow his Twitter. He's a Raiders supporter. Anyways, we're coming for chat and we're going to crush you. All right? We're going to crush you big time. Because they can't handle the amount of enthusiasm, the passion we have for our team. I am surrounded by Pittsburgh Steelers gear all around me. All around me. Dead set, all around me. I'm a nutter. I'm crazy. And this game meant that much to me. I was like, we have to win this game. If we can win this game, being 4-7, then we have a chance. If the Ravens can lose, Bengals can lose. If we win, then we're 2 games away. 2 games away. Right. But we're coming for you, chat, because half of them, they're just half of them are Cowboys fans. All right, 007, Arthur West, he played good today. You know, he played good. You know what I liked about it? What I liked too? The defense stood up. In the first half, in the third quarter was terrible. But in those 3 quarters, they played fantastic. They also designed different blitzes off the edge. They brought Millette down. They brought Terrell Edmonds in for a sack. They brought in Sutton for a sack too, but he didn't get there. TJ Watt got held a million times. Alex Highsmith. Oh yeah, man, I'd probably big time.
Alex Highsmith got a fumble. There was, of course, Chris Wormley fought the football away from Matt Ryan. You know, a big defensive lineman versus a quarterback. Like, it was fun to watch. The third quarter just got me in my heart like this, because in reality, we haven't got Big Ben anymore. And we can't rely on Big Ben to go down the field and score TDs, AB, and those guys, right? We haven't got that anymore. We've got a young offensive line, got a young quarterback, and one of the youngest offenses in the league, right? DJ played some good football today. Besides that East Coast shambles, he played some good football, and he possibly had a TD in the end zone too. But he played some good football, right? We played overall. I really don't get it. It's got to stop. He was once, mobile like that, to step back and go forward. Once you get the football, I never played American football, but I've seen a lot of it in the last 20 years. Get the football, plant your foot in the ground. If it's right or left, juke off that and go forward. Just go forward, right? You can't beat these guys on the outside. You just can't do it. So, oh man, I am super pumped. If we're 4-7, and look, even if we don't make the playoffs, I still want to see them try and win. That's the thing. But I thought progression-wise, if I were to give, the offensive grade, maybe a B+, I'd say. Maybe a B+. Running backs were fantastic. Receivers played really well. Tight end, Frymouth played well. You know what I'm saying? Offensive line, there were penalties here and there. That's all right. They played okay. Now, defense, sure. They weren't there all the time, but I thought the scheme was pretty good. You saw Kazi at the back. You saw Minka with him too. You saw Edmonds come down the box. You saw Devin Bush went missing a little bit, but you saw those guys trying to get involved. I'm still a bit suspect about the middle linebacker. And also, here's a key point. No Robert Spillane, right? The minute that Robert Spillane's out, we win a game, okay? You had those things happening. Now, Levi Wallace had some big pass plays. And, of course, you know what, too? The refs were pretty terrible. The PI call on Minka was awful in the end zone. The PI call on Wallace, even though Pittman caught the ball, awful, right? They showed the adversity. I thought the game was going to get out of hand to a certain degree. 17-16 in the third quarter. I was like, are you kidding me? You're joking. You're absolutely joking. I can't handle this, man. I can't handle losing again. Not being up by so much. They came back to win. And it was 24-17. They ran the ball out. The fourth down play was fantastic. Cameron Sutton. And I think another safety might have been Kazi. I don't know who it was. But Cameron Sutton and another safety back there tore them apart. All right, guys. I'm doing a 30-minute show because I'm exhausted. I'm done. Oh, what? Yeah, I can't believe that. I can't believe it at all. All right, questions. Hit me up with some questions. Any questions you want. Oh, man. Oh, mercy. Any questions? Because, the thing is, the key thing is that they need to back it up. That's the thing. They gotta back it up. If they don't back it up, we're back to square one, right? If the Steelers go... If the Steelers allow, is it Marcus Mariota? Who's playing for the Falcons? Is it Marcus Mariota? I think, right? I think he plays for the Falcons, right? Yeah. If they allow Marcus Mariota, right, and that's quick. Yes, backing it up. If they allow Marcus Mariota next week to tear them apart, because Marcus Mariota, he's not the best quarterback either, right? If they allow Marcus Mariota to tear us apart, then we're in trouble. But the thing is, let's say Najee Harris is out, right? And let's say Warren's out. Then you've got to play Snell, and he's got to back it up. Then McFarland's got to step up, play second, and probably Teague will probably play third if he's activated. That's the way I'd see it. If you want to rest Snell if you want to rest him one game, if you want to rest Najee Harris and then give him that game off and then play the next 5 games. Because you got to play the Ravens. You got to play the Ravens too. You got to play the Ravens twice. And you got a big game on Christmas Day or Eve. But you probably might be going to a certain degree, depending what Najee Harris' injury is. If you rest him and rest Warren, get them ready for the Ravens game. You know what I'm saying? Like, get them ready for the Ravens game. Get them ready for the Ravens game. Otherwise, do you want to risk injury? But here's the thing. I guess the Falcons, they play indoors too, right? So another indoor stadium for Kenny Pickett to maybe have a chance. Pickens. Can they go out and execute plays and score points? 24 points is good, but we want 27-28. That's what we want. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Cold Mill. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you rest Najee Harris, I would rather see a healthy Snell and a healthy McFarland, 100%, than a 70% Najee Harris. I just would rather see that. That's what I would rather see. So the Falcons, don't look past them, like Grid says from Detroit Lions Syndicate. Where am I? This one, right? I got them all. Don't look past them. But they got to back it up. And we've been through this, twice now or 3 times? Well, 3 times. The Bengals we lost after. The Bucks we lost after. And who we beat before? The Saints we lost after. We've been through this 3 times. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not backed up a win back-to-back all season. So, I don't know. We need to. Something's going to happen. Cole Mill says, what's my favorite color? Look, it's not, to be honest, it's not gold. It's actually blue. I think I don't know if I speak for most men, but a lot of men like blue. Blue's like a calming color. Probably should have been a Detroit Lions fan. But look, guys, I'm getting long in the tooth. I'm really winded today from doing the stream for like 3 hours. So I've been talking for a long time. But I appreciate every single one of you. I'm so psyched to have the 1,000 subs on Still Oz. I'm psyched for this channel because we're coming for chat. Like, go and watch. Go look up Pittsburgh Steelers chat and ask Jack Sparrow, Spory, when he became a Steelers fan. He won't be able to tell you. Ask him who Myron Cope is. He won't know who Myron Cope is. Did you know that Jack Sparrow and Sparrow, he said, and Tom Downey said that Trey Nord would be cut? Did you know that Pittsburgh Steelers chat was trying to cut Terrell Edmonds? Did you know they had no idea how to pronounce Alualu? They also had no idea how Connor Hayward made the team. They didn't know that Connor Hayward was on the team. All right. That's enough ranting. I hope so. Dude, they're awful, man. They're a bunch of chat sports, inside information, because we know this stuff. We figured this stuff out. The Pittsburgh Steelers chat sports is run by a Raiders fan. Remember that. Remember the immaculate what was it? Reception? No, I stuffed it up. Yeah, immaculate. You know what stuffs me up? Immaculate reception was Franco Harris, but now because Antonio Brown called his the immaculate extension, there should only be one immaculate thing. Am I not wrong? You know what I'm saying? Why do we always call things everything about immaculate? Like, there's only one immaculate reception, and that's the Franco Harris catch into the end zone, ran down the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, see you later, mate. Why did Antonio Brown make his about the immaculate extension? Anyways, getting too far along. Look, it's all good. I'm super psyched. And thanks, still go 808. Look, go Lions. I'm joking. All right, guys. Thank you for checking out Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. That was a fun show. It's a lot harder to do by yourself than you think than it is with my mate Owen, but Owen's sleeping. So what do you do? I can't wake him up. But we are here we are. We're 4-7. 4-7 right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers need the Ravens to lose. So if the Broncos, my mate, the Broncos can show up. If they can show up, right? If the Broncos can show up, that'd be fantastic, right? Another one. Oh boy, that's all right. We'll get them back. If the Broncos can show up and beat the Ravens, then we have a chance. If the Chiefs can beat the Bengals and we win versus the Falcons, we're 5-7, 2 games away versus the Ravens, and that's going to be a big game. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Thank you for checking out Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. And as always, here we go, Steelers. Here we go.